So I think everything is set up. Bu Diana, Bu Aryati, Bu Ratih, adik-adik semuanya. So let's just start our activity for today ya, Bu Diana.
Baik.
Oke, adik-adik semuanya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, can you hear my voice? Nobody answer my salam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, there are still so many voice that I can hear for answering my salam ya. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabi ajmain. Amma ba'du. Bu Diana, Bu Aryati, Bu Ratih, and adik-adik semuanya, and all my students, thank you so much for joining. Today, this is going to be welcome back to our activity for today for visiting professor program with the one and only Bu Diana Suzieanna from Universitas UITM Malaysia, yeah, Bu Diana, yeah. After last week, we have to cancel the activity that should be done last week because of some things that happened with Bu Diana. Finally, today we have what is that? We have this opportunity to meet again with Bu Diana for what is that? Continuing this activity. That actually, and today what is that? Thank you so much for Bu Aryati, Bu Ratih can join. I'm sure that the presence of Bu Aryati and Bu Ratih will be beneficial for the what is that colorful discussion later on today with the Budiana and adik-adik semuanya here. Ya, adik-adik, before we go any further, let's just start our activity today. Our last session for the visiting professor program with with Budiana, with Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you so much, by the way. Hopefully, by reciting Basmalah, this activity will be beneficial, will be barakah for everyone here. Okay, Budiana, like what I have already mentioned previously, that today's meeting is going to be our last session for the visiting professor program. We are so happy to have you for the last two meetings, and today it's going to be our last meeting, and hopefully we are going to have more and more knowledge from you. We are getting more and more what is that a valuable discussion regarding to this course of psychology of education. Am I right? Psychology of education, right, Bu? Berarti? Yes, psychology of education. Thank you so much. I almost forget the course name ya, Bu Ratih and Bu Aryati ya. And okay, without any further ado, by the way, Bu Diana, I would like to give the time for Bu Diana for what is that? For conducting this visiting professor program. For Bu Diana, I think the times and screen is for you. Thank you so much.
Masya Allah. Thank you very much, Bapak Harry. Before I start my lesson today, will it be possible for Bapak to give me the access for me to share the...
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Let me cue this video now. Okay, Budi, I think you are already co-host now.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, thank you so much, Pak. Thank you so much. Allah. All right, everyone, can you see my screen?
Yes, clear and clear.
Thank you very much, Pak Harry. Thank you, everyone. First of all, I would like to say sorry that I didn't turn up last week, but here we again. Looking at the same slide that I've been sharing with you for the past few lessons. All right. Thank you very much for being here with me today. So this is going to be our last session together. I'll be missing you guys after this. All right. So today I just would like to continue with our lessons on in-task learning progression and teaching development stages. You can refer to the whole idea of in-task learning progression and teacher development stages from the book that I've been sharing by your teachers, by your educators, instructors. All right. So by the way, when it comes to in-task learning progression and teacher development stages, all right, this is actually a comprehensive framework for teachers, all right, in order to teach learners with difficulties, all right. So these particular in-tasks somehow describe how teacher develop along a continuum of professional practice, reflecting growth in their knowledge, skills, and disposition. We cannot somehow mention that I know on how to conduct my class, because definitely in order for you to conduct the class effectively, you need experience, all right? And experienced teacher might teach the students, with a click of hand, bagi slide, then everything should go, in one ideas. But in order for you to do that, you need experience. You need to do a lot, all right, to be of what you are today. All right. So these progressions are deeply integrated with the 10 core teaching standard. All right. So we have 10 core teaching standards. All right. But definitely when it comes to 10 core teaching standard, there will be stages for you to reach to that particular standard. All right. We have standard definitely. When we teach, we need to put our standard. But in order for us to reach to that standard, all right, you have stages. You have stages from the beginner to intermediate, and then the last one, it would be the advanced stages. All right. Then you can somehow mention to people, inform people that you are an expertise of that particular topic or for that particular field. Okay, so like I mentioned previously, in this lecture, I would like to explore an in-task learning progression and the 10 standard, all right, in a deeply detailed manner, all right, suitable for teaching learners with disability, or what we call last two classes, exceptionalities, learners with exceptionalities, all right. So we are going to look at these, okay. Here, in order for you to reach for the 10 core teaching standard, we have 4 stages to reach to that particular core. Okay, you need to remember we have 4 stages for us to reach to that particular 10 core teaching standards. All right, so let's take a look on the first stage. Okay, developing stage. All right, this is the initial stage before you become an expert of that particular field. All right, so teachers at this stage are building foundation skills, all right, and understanding the 10 in-task standards. Definitely, as a beginner, all right, you are actually building your foundation skills. Maybe this is one of the part, all right. You are now listening to my lecture. From this lecture, you are actually building your foundation. So from this lecture, you might want to use some of the ideas, all right, in class later, and then that's what we call that. That's when we move to the next stage. All right. Okay. So they focus on basic classroom management. Okay. For this development stage, you are actually focused on basic classroom management, on how you're going to manage your classroom, on how you're going to conduct the classroom. For example, the first thing that you have with you is the attendance of your students. Okay. When you read, might be the teachers, all right, the teachers from the school had already given to you. Okay, contoh Ali bin Abu, or in Malaysia we have Ali bin Abu, Diana Suzieanna binti Mohamad Shah, all right. So for example, when you read the name Ali bin Abu, so these particular teachers, the teachers of that particular class had already mentioned to you, Ali bin Abu is one of the learner with exceptionalities. He has Asperger, for example. So at one point you need to arrange your teaching method, all right, your teaching tools, all right, according to that particular learner. Okay, all right. So in order for you, when you know that this particular student, all right, they're having what we call is learners in needs, all right. So when you know that these particular two students are in needs of different method of teaching, this is what we call as classroom management. You manage your classroom according to that particular problem. However, you cannot somehow use the same method for the whole class, because we don't want anyone from that class to be left out, all right, to be left out. Okay, so they focus on basic classroom management, instructional planning, and initial strategies for diverse learners. Remember, diverse learners. We're not going to have the whole classes with Asperger, with autism, all right, with ADHD. There will be some of them are normal. So you need to make sure that you cater to all of these students, all right? Hence, definitely you need to have different types of activities, all right, to cater to all the students in class. Okay, so for students with learning difficulties, they begin to apply fundamental accommodation and support as directed. Dear students, all right, you need to remember that when it comes to this kind of students, to this, learners with exceptionalities, you need to remember that the instruction should be different. For example, the first thing that you should do is to give the normal instruction. All right, everyone, we're going to learn about this, turn to page this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, once you have finished with the instruction, it is good for you to go to that particular students and ask them, do you understand the instruction just now? All right. If they cannot understand, it is good for you to have a one-on-one session on the instruction in the first place, and then let them somehow work with the rest. If you think that they cannot work, with everyone in class, then you should have a moment with them to instruct them carefully. All right. Do not leave them alone, because definitely they need you. Okay. This is what we call as fundamental accommodation and support as the right, that you are the teachers, you are the instructors, you are the facilitators, somehow be the support system for that particular students. Okay. All right. So I would like to give you an example. Okay. So a developing teacher may know, all right, that dyslexic learners need extra time, correct? All right. They need extra time, but not yet know how to design structured literature class, for example. So here, what you can do to always discuss with the teacher, experienced teacher, or maybe with your lecturers in your university, all right, asking for their opinion on how can you conduct the class, all right? Okay, because somehow because we do not have a lot of experience, it will be quite difficult for you to arrange the class accordingly. So it is good for you to always discuss with your peers, and then you can discuss with teachers from the schools and also your lecturers to accommodate these group of students. All right. This is what we call as developing stage. All right. So once you have somehow being in this developing stage, definitely after 6 months, I believe, you are going to go to the next stage, I believe, right? Okay, so the next stage is effective stage. Effective teachers, all right, consistently apply the 10 intact standard to create engaging environment. Okay, you have been teaching for 6 months, all right? You know your students better, you know your students well, all right? Definitely, you are going to use these 10 intact standards, all right, to create a lesson. It will be everyday lesson, definitely, all right? Like I mentioned previously, after 6 months, you are going to move from developing to effective stage. All right. When it comes to effective stage, definitely they deliver lesson with clarity and differentiation. You know on how to conduct the class now. All right. Last time you might need to cater, you might have problem, all right, to cater to all students, but now you are good, all right? Maybe what you can do is to group the students accordingly. Oh, so these particular students, they are going to work 10 members in a group. So maybe you can put, all right, the SPJ student in this group, because sometimes SPJ student, they have a lot of ideas in mind, but they cannot deliver, they cannot present in class, all right? They might feel shy. So you might want them to work together. At least it will somehow help them to discuss, and these SPJ student could somehow enhance ataupun uplift their self-esteem at one point of their life, all right? Okay. But however, you need to make sure that the analysis or the assessment is going to cater to all students in class, because you need to make sure you cannot give all the attention to the group of learners with exceptionalities, because sometimes normal students needs you as well. Normal students might be normal, but sometimes they might not understand your instruction carefully. They might not know on how to solve problem in class. Contohnya mathematics problems ataupun statistic problems. So it will be better for you. It will be good for you to also cater to this kind of students. I believe that you have learned on 10 multiple intelligences in class. All right. I don't want to focus on this thoroughly, but I believe you know about kinesthetic, you know about visualize, you know about auditory. So it is good for you to also use this 10 multiple intelligences activities in class, so everyone would have would have different ideas, different opinion towards your activities. Okay, all right. Like I mentioned previously, you have moved the stages from developing to effective. Now, when it comes to effective, all right, and effective teachers ataupun educators now, they recognize that a student is struggling, right? You yourself, as the instructor of the class, you know that your students are struggling, okay? For example, like I mentioned previously, we're discussing on ADHD students, all right? They might have problem to read, all right? They might have problem to read. E become A, N become M, all right? So they have a problem to read. So you know one of the activities that could help them to understand better would be on graphic organizers, contoh, all right? So now you would like to use graphic organizers or what we call as alamak, graphic organizers sama dengan kalau you buat dekat tengah-tengah tu macam kan you letak
Graphic designer maybe, ma'am?
as- sorry Bapa,
Graphic designer you mean? Or
graphic organizers. Kalau di Malaysia kita pakai graphic organizers,
organizer?
kan Bapa buat macam awan kan dekat tengah-tengah tu, contohlah we're talking about apa ya, saya tulis dekat situ Bapa Harry kan, nanti kita keluarkan lagi satu awan handsome, lagi satu awan baik, lagi satu awan tinggal di Solo. Faham tak anak-anak? Kalau di sini kita panggil graphic organizers. Apa yang lagi yang simple, nanti kalau saya ingat saya share ya.
Sure,
Alright?
sure.
Okay, so might be this would help ADHD students, because ADHD students, they are visualized person. They cannot somehow read instruction from the book because it will be difficult for them to read. You need to remember that ADHD students, they have problem to read better, kan? So it is good for you to use a lot of graphic organizers, to use a lot of graphic, right, in class, so the student would recognize the ideas better. Okay. Now, because you are an effective teachers, you don't need help. It's not that you don't need help, but you don't have to go and discuss with the lecturers. You don't have to go and discuss with your teachers from the school, all right, to help you to come up with the activities for the class. You might want to think on your own. You might want to conduct the class on your own. So now you are better. All right, you are better. Okay, so you can somehow modify the reading task, all right, and check the understanding of the students at multiple points. Definitely when it comes to assessment, you need to remember that you need to have different assessment in class. The first one would be the easiest, and then you can go to intermediate, and the last one would be the advanced. So you are going to check on the assessment to see whether the student could somehow manage to move their stage from the easiest to intermediate, and then the last one would be the advanced. Once they reach advanced, then you can move to the next topic because you have understood that the student understand the lesson very well. Okay. All right, that's effective stages. Now we're moving to the next stages. Do you have question from the floor? Do I have question from the floor before I move to the next stage?
Anyone? I think it's okay, ma'am.
Boleh ya? Alright, thank you Bapa. Okay, so now we're moving to the next stage, which is highly effective. Alright, so the teacher exhibit expert practice. Wow, now you're an expert, okay? Alright, the teachers exhibit expert practice across all 10 intact standards, alright? They are highly reflective, innovative, and contribute significantly to the professional and community. When it comes to highly effective, it means that you have become the master of that particular students, all right? You know how to conduct the class according to the students, what is it called, exceptionalities, right? Okay, so you can integrate content, definitely. Okay, when you learn that one of your students in class, all right, these particular students is students with disability, ADHD, for example. So you can somehow integrate content, pedagogy, and learners' knowledge, all right, according to that particular exceptionalities, because you have understood on how to conduct, on how to create the content already. You have learned this based on your experience. You have learned this based on your reading experience, discussions, all right, observation in class. It helps you on how to move yourself as a teacher, all right? Okay, so for example, example, if a student with ADHD has difficulty to sustain, all right, to sustain attention during group work, all right, as as an effective teacher, you should somehow redesign the activity. All right, you might want to use role play. All right, why? Because like I mentioned previously, most of the students, most of the ADHD students, all right, they love graphics so much. Okay, so you need to provide them with a lot of cards with pictures. Okay, to help them to understand theories in class better. Okay, all right. Somehow ADHD student will have difficulty to work with the other people. So what you can do is to to ask them to have one buddy in class. Selalunya I ask my students to have a buddy in class where the buddy will help these particular students, all right, to understand some lesson better, or maybe this buddy will be the interlocutor, okay, all right, the medium, all right, to discuss with the rest of the members. Because sometimes ADHD students, they have bestie forever, right? This particular bestie will help them to discuss with the rest of the class. They're not feeling comfortable to talk with the others, but with the bestie, they feel that comfortable, they can share a lot of things. So this bestie would be the interlocutors, I mean the medium to the rest of the members. But as an effective teachers, you are not going to use this kind of method for the rest of the class, for the rest of the semesters. It is good for you to always change the method to help them, all right, to learn better, to help them to be better. Okay. All right. So the last stage, right? The last stage is going to be the innovating. Oh, the innovating. All right. Innovating teachers reshape learning environment and influence school system. Okay. Um. For innovating teachers, they are going to be the one who develop questions. All right. And also design innovation to help students. All right. I am not having a problem. For example, I have students who have difficulty to understand some of my topics when I taught them in class. So what I did is I created a chat bot, right, from Telegram bot to help my student to understand that particular topic, because we have like 14 weeks per semester. I believe in UMS also we have 14 weeks per semester. All right, that particular topic should be taught to the students in 2 weeks time. However, after 2 weeks, my student were still having a problem to understand to that particular topic. I don't have time, all right, to extend because I need to cover automated chatbots where they manage to check for the chatbot everywhere anytime they want. Okay, so this is what I call as innovating. You innovate something to help the students cater to the problem. But before that, you need to understand the problem in the first place. Once you have the problem, then you can somehow innovate something to cater to that problem. All right. So when it comes to innovating, usually they engage in research. What kind of research? Okay, my research is based on my observation. I observe my students, they can understand to that topic, and then I cannot extend more. I cannot, teach them in class anymore because I need to move to other topic, because along the way we're going to have assessment to cater to all the topics. All right. So I did a research from my observation. All right. Pioneer new pedagogical approach. So I use chatbots to teach my students, contohnya, and then influence policy. Somehow, I suggested to my faculty, all right, to use my chatbot, and now my chatbot has won, multiple award. Alhamdulillah. Kita dapat platinum, kita dapat beberapa gold. I believe that for that particular chatbot, we have somehow won about 5 golds and 1 platinum. All right. So I believe you as a teachers, you should be this kind of teachers. All right, because you should help your students. All right, you know your students well, and then please help them. All right, because we believe that Innovating teachers are leaders who challenge conventional practice. And then, yes, we would like to improve our educational system, all right, to make sure that everyone will be not, will not be left behind. All right. Okay. So, for learning difficulties, they design and evaluate groundbreaking strategies contributing to the broader fields of inclusive education. I remember one of my students, she has problem to understand what does it call, long passage, all right, long passage. So with the help of my chatbot, it helped her, all right, it helps her, all right, to get the ideas better, because there's a lot of pictures in my chatbot, there's a lot of voice note in my chatbot. So she loves to listen to the voice note, all right, rather than reading. I understand that very well, because I hate reading as well. Okay, alamak, kantoi kan. So I hate reading a lot. I am not a reader. Kalau you ask me what is my hobby, reading is not my hobby. But I need to read. I need to read to be here with you today. I need to read because I need to read. But if you ask me to read, freely, I'm not going to do that. All right. But I love listen to podcasts. Can you see? Right. So you need to understand that there's a lot of students in your class. They have your students are diverse, so you need to cater to all of your students. You cannot mention that, alamak, there are going to be a lot of things to do in class. If I need to cater to all students, there are students who love auditory. There are students who like to move, kinesthetic student kan, or there are a lot of students who are visualized. So I'm not going to cater to all students. You cannot. You need to cater to all students. What you can do is to divide. Maybe the first activity is going to cater for the student who love to move, and then when you move to the second activity, it should cater to the visualized students, and the last one would be auditory. So everyone will be so happy, all right, doing everything in class. Okay, so you should be an innovating instructor one day, inshallah. Maybe what you can do is to learn from your teachers. You have Pak Harry, you have your teachers, your lecturers with us today just now. All right, maybe you can get something from them. All right. Okay, so now we're moving to complete in task standard overview. This is the 10 core. All right, this is the 10 core in task. Okay, I would like you to focus on this, because this is quite not quite difficult, but confusing a little bit. All right. Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's move to the next ideas. Yeah. Okay, so there are 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 stages in task standard overview. All right. So the first one, okay, if you could see here, number 1, we have standard 1, standard 2, standard 3, where number 2, standard 4, and standard 5. And then number 3, we cater to standard 6, 7, 8. And then the last one, number 4, standard 9 and standard 10. So let's take a look at standard number 1. Okay, the learner and learning. Okay, standard 1, learner development. So this standard somehow focuses on understanding on how children grow cognitively, all right, emotionally, socially, linguistically, and physically. If you could see here, the teacher understands how learners grow and develop, all right, recognizing that patterns of learning and development vary individually within and across the cognitive, linguistic, social, emotional, and physical areas. When it comes as when you become an instructor, it is good for you to understand your students' background first place. You should ask the name, all right, where they're from, all right, and then learn their activity letter, all right? Because sometimes I remember when I was doing my internship practicum in school, I remember that these particular students, they have problems, family problems, where the mother is not there with her, right? And then the father somehow, lost in the thin air. Okay, all right. So the mother will come to home, we come back to home like, 1 or 2 times a week. So they don't have quite a bonding with parent children bonding is not there. So it's quite difficult for her to understand that when it comes to, our relationship, me and her, all right, it's quite difficult for her to share a lot of things with me because these particular students, she never shared anything with the parents. So it's quite difficult for me to find something that could help us to have that kind of bonding. But at one point of my life, I know that she likes, flowers a lot. So when I created any lesson, I would like to have something that could bond us together. So I created lesson, which we can play with flowers. All right, I brought a lot of flowers in class. I asked her to describe the flowers. So she's going to describe the flowers. I believe that this flower is blah, 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 red in color, whatsoever. And somehow she looks happy. This is what I said to you just now. It is good for you to learn about the students, but definitely it will be quite a burden if you would like to learn about all of the students. But after sometimes, I believe after 6 months, you're going to know everyone in the class. Okay, tak saya tanya Pak Harry. I believe Pak Harry kenal semua orang dalam kelas. Siapa yang nakal, siapa yang tak nakal. Betul tak Pak Harry?
Of course, ma'am.
Of course kan?
I know who's naughty.
Sudah. Thank you, Pak Harry. Okay, all right. So the teacher understand how learners grow and develop, recognize that pattern of learning and development vary individually within and across the cognitive, linguistic, social, emotional, and physical areas. After sometimes you know that these particular students are good in thinking. Contohnya, they manage to solve problem, all right? But some of them could not somehow solve problem immediately. They might need time. But this particular student, they might have good command in language. So it will be, good for you to pair them in class, contohnya, because one of them could give the ideas and one of them could somehow present in class, contohnya. At one point, after 6 months, I believe, they're going to change their what is it called? They're going to change their ideas, all right? At one point, maybe the one who cannot somehow think immediately would also have the same ideas with the first pair just now, all right? So it is good for you to also learn about your student's background, all right? To help you to create the content for that particular lesson. All right, so standard number 2, learning differences. Okay, so the teacher used understanding of individual differences and diverse cultures and communities to ensure inclusive learning environment that enable each learner to meet high standard. Okay, so teacher must somehow value diversity. All right, you should somehow adapt instruction to meet individual needs, like I mentioned previously, because you have different students class, it is good for you, all right, to cater to all individual needs. But you're not going to cater, for example, you have different students, you have different types of student in class, so you would like to have different different practice, all right, you're not going to do that. They can share the same practice, but the method is going to be different. If you think that the students needs more instruction, I mean, they cannot understand the first instruction, then you can go to that particular students to instruct them, effectively according to their problem. Okay, for example, I remember one of my students somehow, I went to class, I went to school, all right, to observe my students, right? My students, TASA students, all right? I went to the school to observe my students. So these particular students, they're quite fast, right? They're quite fast. So my student would give additional activity to that particular group of students. Why? Because they don't want that particular group of students to disturb the others in class. Because definitely when they finish earlier, they're going to be haywire, right? They're going to throw tantrum, right? They're going to speak a lot. So what the students, my student did at that time is actually to give extra assessment, extra practice to that particular student. It's a good idea as well, right? It is a good idea as well. Okay, or maybe what you can do, if I were the students, I would like to make them as the mentor of the rest of the class. They finish earlier, so they should go and become the mentor to the rest, to the others of the students, so that they can learn more, all right, and the student can also learn from friends. But I'm not going to say that the method that my student did was wrong. It is also good, all right. You have your own opinion, I have my own opinion. We can always share our opinion for the betterment of our student. No worries, there's no wrong in teaching, but definitely there will be room of improvement. Okay. All right. So for example, I would like to give an example for standard 2 learning differences. In a multilingual classroom, all right, a teacher uses visuals, all right, sentences, frames, bilingual dictionary, peer support, so that English language learners can participate fully. Definitely, like I mentioned previously, if you have different types of student in class, you can cater to all of these problems, all right? On exercise number 1, exercise number 2, exercise number 3. You're not going to somehow cater everything in one particular exercise. Maybe exercise 1 is actually to cater to that particular group of students. And then when we move to exercise number 2, it should cater to the rest of the classes. And then number 3, you should somehow cater to the other groups of students as well. So at one point of, at the end of the lesson, everyone should somehow answer to the ideas. Okay. All right. So now we're moving to the next standard, which is standard number 3. Okay. Standard number 3 is learning environment. Okay. So the teacher works with others to create environment that support individual and collaborative learning, and that encourage positive social interaction, active engagement in learning, and self motivation. This is also one of the example of learning environment where UMS somehow invited me to be here with you today. All right. Thank you very much to UMS for giving me the opportunity, all right, to share some of my knowledge. I am not good in this, but I believe we have, everyone together with me as well, all right, to come up with a good lesson for our next generation, inshallah. Okay, so here I believe that UMS somehow create environment that support you, because sometimes it is good for you to get something from people from outsiders as well. All right, I might have a different opinion from my own country, and I'm somehow sharing with you. You might want to use some of the ideas, all right, in Indonesia to help, our students, because we believe that, something might help you somewhere. I remember one of my friend, which I know last week. Okay, I went to Universitas Pamulang in Universitas Pamulang in Pamulang, Jakarta, Indonesia. Universitas Pamulang, they have 3 gedung. You call it gedung kan? Kalau di Malaysia, kita panggil 3 campus. So di Universitas Pamulang, they have 3 gedung, 3 campuses. However, we did go to wrong campus. Okay, wrong campus. It is supposed to be in Victor campus. They call it Victor campus, but we are actually in Gedung 2. And then in our invitation, in our invitation letter, it is stated as Bilik Kaca Universitas Pamulang. So since we were in a different campus, I remember asking one of the docent there, how did I know that this particular person is docent? Because he somehow parked the motorcycle, where in parking docent, some sort of that lah. So we know that, oh, this is a docent, this is, a teacher, instructor of this Universitas Pamulang. So I was like, Bapa, minta maaf saya ganggu, saya dijemput oleh Universitas Pamulang untuk bagi talk di sini. So this is the bilik stated here in my letter. Where is this bilik? Kan, kamar, where is this kamar? So that particular person somehow mentioned, oh, we have this kamar here. So he brought us to Bilik Kaca. Somehow at one point of our life at that time, we were like, I don't think this is the correct Bilik Kamar. And at that point, we just got to know that we are actually in different gedung. And then So it's quite, this is how I said that you should somehow create environment that support individual and collaborative learning. So Universitas Pamulang, they realize that they need ideas from us. I mean, we have ideas on how to do action research. So Universitas Pamulang somehow invited us as the instructors of Malaysia to share our knowledge, to share our ideas with the instructors of their university. Tapi itulah, itu yang kelakarnya. We went to the wrong gedung and we were late. We were late. We were supposed to give our talk at 2:30, but somehow we reached the next gedung at 3:30. So 1 hour late because from one gedung to another gedung, it took us like 45 minutes. Lepas tu macet, another 1 hour. Alright, so itu salah satu lah. As a teacher, you yourself should ask a lot. Alright, okay. So that's a standard overview for the first one, learning and the learner and learning. Alright, before I move to the next one, which is content, is there anyone from the floor, you have something to ask maybe? Ada soalan, adik-adik?
Nano, you want to ask something?
Nano, lama tak dengar Nano. Dah 2 minggu Miss tak jumpa Nano.
Budiana, if I
Yes,
may ask the question.
please, Bapa.
Yeah, I have a question actually during the training last time in
Aha,
Jakarta. One of
aha,
the facilitator in my training, they asked me about this question. Is it which one is more difficult according to Budiana
aha.
to develop knowledge or to develop pedagogy for the teacher, especially if they want to be an innovative teacher or a better teacher in the future? Because as you know, my
Uh,
works as the what is that as the facilitator next year. I'm going to
oh,
be the facilitator for preparing the regular teacher from elementary school, which is
uh-huh,
actually graduated from elementary school study program.
uh-huh,
However, because the English course is what is that is prepared to be mandatory starting from 2007 2027, so that's
uh-huh,
why the government is really difficult to what is that to cover all the school of elementary school in Indonesia with English teacher. So that's why we have to prepare regular teacher or elementary teacher to teach English later on. So that's why we have to teach what is that? Maybe pedagogy, how to teach English, and
very good.
we have to teach English to the teacher. What do you think about that, Budiana? Maybe that's what the question from my facilitator led previously actually.
Thank you very much for the question, Pak Harry. But before I answer, what's your answer actually?
My answer was my answer previously was it's a little bit difficult for that case, yeah, especially for
Uh-huh.
the elementary teacher. It is a little bit more difficult to teach knowledge. I mean, to teach English rather than how to teach English for me, because I believe that, for example, we have to prepare for teaching is for about only 4 years, right? After they graduate for senior high school, they can study in English education or maybe faculty of education, right? For the bachelor degree,
Mm-mm.
they have to spend 4 years. However, for English,
Uh-uh.
it seems like this knowledge is kind of the how do I say? We learn English starting from elementary, junior high school, senior high school, and then even though until now. So that's why to be a better in knowledge or to be better in English, we have to spend a lot of time. I mean, many years to be
Many
better
years.
English. However, for the pedagogy, to be a teacher, we have to spend
Uh-huh.
only 4 years. That's my my logic or my answer at previously, Budiana.
Okay. If I were you, Bapak,
Yes.
I'm one of the trainer for
Uh-huh.
UITM, right? We
Yes.
are going to prepare the newcomers, the new lecturers, right?
Okay.
To teach in class. So I'm one of the trainers. Okay.
Yes.
So my answer would be the knowledge. It would be
Oh,
difficult to develop the knowledge at the first place because in order for you to understand the pedagogy, you need to have the knowledge. That's
yeah.
why I asked my lecturers. I mean, I called them adik-adik lah because I'm
Mm-hmm.
seniors already,
Sure, sure.
senior kan. Alright. When I have the training session with my adik-adik, I always mention it is good for you to have the knowledge at the first place because when you have the knowledge, when you have the common ideas of what you need to do in class, then you can somehow come up with the pedagogy. because definitely you need to make sure that your knowledge is there. If you don't have the knowledge, it will be difficult for you to come up with a pedagogy, because on what basis you're going to on what basis you're going to create the pedagogy if you don't have the knowledge. So I always ask them to look at the theory, the latest theory, all right, to help them to create the pedagogy later in class. That's what I said to them. We have even in 27 January, I'll be meeting the new lecturers of UITM. I usually have a training session of about 80 participant per session. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm not sure, because like I mentioned previously, there's no wrong, there's no right in, come up with the content. But for me myself, you need to have the knowledge at the first place. What kind of things that you would like to teach your students? All right. So once you know what's in your mind, then you can somehow come up with pedagogy align with your ideas just now. That's what I said to my students. I'm not sure whether I've answered to your question, but Harry, but this is if I were you, this is what my answer would be.
Yes. Good answer, Budiana, because actually those are the
Uh-huh.
two things that I'm going to do later on as a
Uh-huh.
facilitator for elementary teacher. I have to
Mhm.
teach English and I
English.
have to teach them how to teach English
How
for
to
their
teach
students,
English.
right? Because they are
Mhm.
usually teaching as
Mhm.
an elementary classroom teacher. So they
Mhm.
teach mathematics, they teach science, and they teach many things as a elementary
Mhm.
teacher. But for English, they do not have this kind of ability previously, because here,
Mhm.
as an English teacher, we have to be, what is that, bachelor from English education, not the bachelor of elementary, elementary school education in our faculty.
In
So
your
that's why. And mostly, most
uh-huh.
of most of the teacher in elementary school, they have A1 or mostly A1 the level of English.
Betul,
So
betul.
that's why, in order to make sure that they are able to teach English, we have to
Mm-mm.
make sure that they can improve at least until A2, not until B1 is too high for them actually.
Correct, correct, correct.
So that's why we have to teach them English, and then how we have to teach them how to teach English later on, and then those kind of
Correct.
two things that being
Uh-huh.
homework that I have to prepare for.
Good luck, Pak Harry. Good luck, Pak Harry. I'm not sure whether I could help you, but I would like to share something as Pak Harry and
No
student.
problem, no problem. Maybe I just want to know about your point of view about what going to
Let
happen
me
in this
share.
new program from our government, Bu Diana.
I see. No wonder I've been also invited by Universitas Pamulang, because they
Mm-hmm.
have Faculty of Education, and Universitas Terbuka Indonesia would like to have some sort of our thought about this as well. I just got to
Mm.
know that this is new um
Program.
new program in
Mm.
Indonesia. I'm wishing you the best, Bapak. Okay, if you could see here, Bapak, I have
Mm.
scholarship of teaching and learning. So I'll be somehow sharing my ideas
Sure, sure, go on.
to my adik-adik, which is the new lecturers, the scholarship of teaching and learning. So I thought then on how to teach actually. Because because in UITM, Bapak, we have different faculties. We have like 550 programs with 35 campuses around Malaysia. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely not everyone would know on how to teach, because for us, for example, Bapak, we our what does it call? Yeah, our syllabus somehow cater on how to teach, but not all the faculty somehow cater on how to teach.
Mm-hmm.
Chemistry are not going to somehow mention in their syllabus on how to teach chemistry to the students. Chemistry might teach them on how to come up with chemistry, on how to solve chemistry problem
Sure.
whatsoever, but not how to teach. So here we are, the trainers. We're going to teach our adik-adik on how to teach class. So if you would like to have my, what does it call, yeah, my slide, I'll be sharing with you after our lesson today, Bapak.
Sure, Bu.
InsyaAllah, Bapak. Okay, so thank you very much, Bapak, for the question. Well done. Alamak, Pak Harry ada question. How about the students? Do you have
Come on,
question?
student. Any question maybe for Budiana?
Or you would like to save letter before we end
Bu
our
Ariati maybe want to say something?
No, I just want to motivate students to
Ah,
ask questions to
kan.
Diana. Yeah.
Mungkin Ibu Aryati would have question before I end my lesson today, Cik. Today is my last day, Cik.
Yeah.
So
Usually we have in our curriculum we have differentiated learning. Yeah.
differentiate,
Differentiated learning.
differentiated learning.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure with ADHD. Yeah.
ADHD.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So it is, I
Mm.
think that it is difficult for teachers, yeah, to manage such students, yeah.
In UiTM, we have unit perkhidmatan orang kurang upaya, Bu, where this particular unit somehow cater to students with exceptionalities. So we have blind students, we have students with ADHD, autism, Asperger. All right, we are going to put them together in class, but the lecturers who are going to teach to that particular class would know that the students is in class before they go to class, so that the teacher would somehow prepare beforehand. So we have this kind of students. Last time it would be difficult for students with exceptionalities, all right, to apply to any universities in Malaysia. We're not going to somehow hide about this problem. We have problem when the student having difficulties in their learning. University will not somehow prepare any lesson to cater to that particular problem. But now, starting from 2012, like that, all right, Malaysia somehow come up with the ideas that they're going to somehow cater to that kind of students. Cuma adalah macam, buta warna, Ibu. Buta warna, memang we somehow mention to the student, they cannot somehow enroll themselves in architecture program, because definitely when it comes to architecture problem ataupun art and design, there are colours, alright. So tak boleh masuk lah. Boleh pilih ke
That's dangerous.
faculty lain. Ya, nanti kan we are going to ask them to draw something with colours.
Yes.
Different colours might be used.
Yeah, they have to test the students, yeah, before.
Kalau
But
macam di fakulti saya, fakulti apa tu, Akademi Pengajian Bahasa, alright, kita ada blind student. Blind student.
okay.
Kalau so we send our lecturers, alright, to learn on tools in class, because definitely when it comes to blind students, they're not fully blind, they can see, but definitely what does it call, the font the font use need to be that big.
Like a minus, very minus, a lot of minus in
Low
eyes.
vision, yeah.
Low vision.
Low vision, yeah.
So no need to like a braille or something. Braille.
So our students, yeah.
So they do not need
Sorry, Baba?
until they do not need some kind of braille or something like reading
They
using
need
the
braille,
finger.
they need braille.
Yeah.
So our lecturers need to learn braille as well.
That's wonderful.
If the educators, for me myself, if I cannot read braille, then I need to have my buddy with me from unit perkhidmatan
I see.
orang kurang upaya. For me myself, it's quite hard for me to learn braille because I am not that young anymore. So and then I don't have a lot of time to go and then attend the training session. So what I did is I asked for a buddy. So once the students somehow submitted their work in braille, I need to bring that braille to see my buddy, and my buddy will read to me lah.
I see.
Okay. Alright. Boleh Bapak? Boleh Ibu Aryati?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, thank you for
No
sharing,
problem.
Suzieanna.
Bapak. Can I move to my next lesson? Boleh semua?
Sure. Go on. You can go on, Bu. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all right, anak-anak, then instructors as well. Okay, we're going to move to the next standard. The next standard is on content, right? So here in content, we have standard 4 and standard 5. So standard 4, content knowledge. Okay, the teacher understands the central concept, tools of inquiries, and structure of discipline. He or she teaches and create learning experiences that make the discipline accessible and meaningful for learners to assure mastery of the content. I believe this particular idea somehow relates to what Harry asked just now. It is knowledge or it is the pedagogy. Okay, like I mentioned previously, there's no wrong, there's no right. All right, we might go with the pedagogy who will not. But according to, all right, under second core apa tu content knowledge, all right, the teacher understand the central concept. So it means that you should understand what you should teach in class. You should understand the central concept. What are the theories that you are going to teach in class? What kind of syllabus, what kind of content that you should somehow touch in that particular class on that particular week, for example. All right, since you have all the concept, you should also, manage to have all the tools of inquiry and then what kind of structures that you would like to use in class. Okay, once you have all of these, then it will be easier for you to create the learning experience for all the students. Like I mentioned previously, it might be quite difficult for some of you, right, to create a knowledge which cater to all the students' need in class. Like I mentioned again previously, there's kinesthetic students, they have, visual student in class, they have what does it call, auditory students in class. You might say it will be difficult for me to come up with a content in class, but sometimes after you have learned everything, all right, in the class, okay, you have learned the knowledge. Now it will be easier for you to come up with the pedagogy, the method of practice of teaching, all right, for example, in English, all right, okay. Right, the next one is application of content. So the teacher understand how to connect concept and use a different perspective to engage learners in critical thinking, creativity, and collaborative problem solving related to authentic, local, and global issue. All right. So teacher help learners to apply knowledge to real world problems. All right. You should somehow use, all right, what does it call, yeah? When you read newspaper, there's a lot of problem happening in our world right now. Ataupun di Indonesia right now, I just got to know my friend in Aceh, they're having problem, all right? And I remember asking one of my friend, Bapak Dr. Julie Herman from Universitas Terbuka Indonesia. I did contact, him last week, and he mentioned that the dampaknya lagi besar dari tsunami. So I know that this is quite, a devastated moment for everyone in Aceh and also in Indonesia. All right. What you need to do is to use this kind of, moment in your class so that the student would learn about the emotion, the student would learn about the problems on why it happened, okay, and then the problem would the student would try to find the solution, all right. The student would somehow apply that to themselves, all right. So it is good for you to use something authentic, all right, something local, and then sometimes you should go global as well. So the student would try to use their brain at the highest capacity to think about the ideas. It will help them to get to that cognitive skills, all right. The ideas will be there, and then you are going to ask the student to present in class, for example. Sometimes it will help them to think, all right, creatively, all right, to think effectively on how to solve problem, all right, on why the problem happened, for example. Okay, all right. So application the content. Okay, apply the content, mashallah. All right. So the next one is instructional practice. We have standard 6, we have standard 7, and we have standard 8. All right. When it comes to standard 6, this is where you get into assessment. All right. When you get into assessment. All right, so the teacher understand and use multiple methods of assessment to engage learners in their own group, to monitor learners' progress, and to guide the teachers and learners' decision making. I've been telling you many times, all right? The first practice in class, you might want to cater to that particular group of students, and then the second would cater to another group of students, and the third one would also cater to another group of students. But you need to make sure that you have the easiest one, intermediate, and then the advanced one to see whether the student could understand that particular theory, for example. Okay, if you do not have kind of practice, you might not help the students. The student might not help themselves as well. And you as a teacher, we're not going to see any, progressive graph of your life, of your teaching and learning activity in class. So it is good for you to try, all right, to reach to that point where the exercise would have from easiest to advanced, and then you should also cater to the groups of the students in class. Okay, and then standard 7, planning for instruction. The teacher plan instruction that support every students in meeting rigorous learning goal by drawing upon knowledge of content areas, curriculum, cross-discipline skills, and pedagogy, as well as knowledge of learners and the community expert. At your age right now, you might find this quite difficult to understand, but when you become a teacher, when you go for your internship letter, all right, you are going to learn on how to plan for your own instruction, because the teachers in the school might give you one of their class, all right, and then ask you to teach and then come up with all the activities in class with all the questions that you're going to ask to the students later. So definitely you are going to plan for the instruction. However, when it comes to planning, it requires deep knowledge of your students, all right, content and pedagogy. That's why I somehow remember saying to you, it is good for you to know the background of the students, all right, and then you should somehow get to the knowledge. Once you have the knowledge of the students, when you have the knowledge of what you're going to teach, all right, it will be easier for you to create for the content and at the end come up with the pedagogy, all right, to teach the students. I mean, pedagogy which help the students, which help you to come up with a method. Which one of the method will be the best method, all right, to use in that particular class. Okay, for example, you are going to teach a narrative writing. I believe that everyone would have the same problem with me. It's quite difficult actually to teach narrative writing, in class. So for me myself, if I would need to teach a narrative writing in class, I would like to use a modeling method text ataupun graphic organizers, right, in class. Okay, I'm going to ask the students to write something in the middle of the paper, and then from that ideas, they're going to move to the next idea. For example, I would like them to write about my father. Okay, so the ideas is going to about my father. They're going to describe about their father. Their father is kind, all right. Their father works as a policeman. Their father works, quite far from the house. Okay, if that particular father works quite far from the place, what happened after that? Oh, he needs to, get up early from the house, all right, 5 a.m. in the morning, to reach the station, contohnya. So this is how you ask the students to come up with the narrative writing, where you ask the students to gather the information from the graphic organizers. That is what I would like to do in class, contohnya. It will be different from you, but you need to make sure that you cater to all the students' need in class. All right. Okay. So the next one is going to be standard 8 instructional strategies. All right. Okay. So the teacher understands and uses a variety of instructional strategies to encourage learners to develop deep understanding of content areas and their connection, and to build skills to apply knowledge in meaningful ways. All right. So teacher chooses method intentionally. All right. Based on learners' needs and content goals. That's why I say many times it is good for you to learn about your students' background so that you can cater to the students. I understand. For example, I have 83 of us today in this particular Zoom session. I don't think that I could manage to learn about everyone in class. But maybe maybe what you can do is to have a reflection after this, asking about some of the ideas, all right, on what to teach in class, contohnya. From that particular ideas, you might want to try, all right, to teach that particular topic to make sure that everyone would be happy, everyone would understand that particular ideas, because I cannot somehow assume that everyone will understand to the same lesson that we have today, because not everyone would have, because everyone would have different capacity, all right, different capacity of cognitive skill, different capacity of problem solving skills, all right. So it is good for you to at least learn something from the students, all right. Okay, and then the next one would be the last what does it call? The last stages, all right? Professional responsibility. We have standard 9 and standard 10. Okay, what is standard 9? So standard 9 is professional responsibility, all right? Professional learning and ethical practice. The teacher engaged in ongoing professional learning and uses evidence to continually evaluate his or her practice. All right, everyone. When you become a teacher, you're not going to assume yourself an expert. All right, definitely you are an expert on that particular topic, but at one point of your life, it is good for you to top up your teaching and learning activity. You should somehow get yourself into a lot of other training as well. Maybe you can learn from somebody else. I love going to Jakarta. I love going and then invited by, Simolek, because I can learn from different people around the world. Okay, I remember asking my friend from Laos, right? What kind of AI you use in Laos? And one of the what does it call? One of the delegation from Laos somehow mentioned, I never use any AI. And we were like, oh my God, seriously? All
Wow.
right. I remember. Yes, Bapa.
So
My friend named
surprising
is,
answer.
yes, so surprisingly, I thought that everyone around the world would use AI, but my friend from Laos, the name is Noi and Tong.
Mm.
I remember the name Noi and Tong. They never use AI in Laos. So
Mm.
uh, when we somehow created lesson together, uh, they've they have difficulties in creating lesson. Um, after we have been given 30 minutes to create a lesson. For us from Malaysia, we can create the lesson
Mm.
in only 10 minutes. And then
Mm.
another 20 minutes is going to be, sleeping, buffing around because we are quite a naughty delegation. Malaysia would known as the naughtiest delegation of all right?
Oh.
So after sometimes we realized that we need to do something. So what we did is we somehow, invited them to join our group and, sit in the middle of us. Before that, we sat like, Malaysian, Laos, Maluku,
Mm.
Maluku. But now you're going to sit in the middle of us. So we're going to have Malaysia, Laos, Malaysia. Because
Mm.
we have three from Malaysia, two from Laos, two from Maluku. So we're going to teach them. You are going to listen to us, all right? I'm going to do
Okay.
this. You are going to do that. I'm going to somehow create the lesson. You are going to go and present the lesson because once you
Mm.
present the lesson, so it means that you have understood what we have done just now. Uh,
Mm. But
so yeah,
Budiana, do they know
yeah,
about AI, by the way? Do they
they
know,
know
right?
about AI. They know about AI.
But they never use that.
Yes, they never use that.
Wow, that's good.
They never use that. Uh, when I asked them why, they mentioned that they didn't get the training from the government. Yeah.
I
Uh, 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 uh.
see. Yeah.
Yes.
Because there are
And
there are some ethics that we have to follow, right?
I
In
think so. I
order
think
to use the
so.
AI here, especially in education.
I think so lah, Bapak, because at that time we were not sure whether we are going to somehow ask them more on that because we believe that different country might have different allegation. So we just when we know that they don't know how to use AI, so we share a lot of our ideas. We even asked them to use Gamma, for example, to create for the lesson. So they were like, "Oh my God, it take only 5 minutes, Diana, to come up with a lesson because Laos somehow use the similar, what does it call, similar language as Thailand.
Okay.
So setiap pagi bapa dia bangun, dia akan ketuk bilik sabadi, Diana, sabadi, so nanti ada yang apa tu, what does it call? Yeah, Thailand also sawadika. They were
Sawadikap.
like, okay,
Yes, we know
Thailand, this
that.
is Laos. All right. So I believe as a teacher, it is good for you to always top up your knowledge because yes,
Mm.
definitely knowledge will evolve every day. And Bapa, I just got to know from one of my friend, Simolek Bapa Victor. Maybe one day I would like to,
Mm.
meet you out so that
Sure.
UMS could get a lot of ideas from Simolet as well. I just got to know that Simolet told us Indonesia setiap bulan, boleh kata
Mm-hmm.
setiap bulan lah, ataupun setiap tahun, I can't remember, setiap tahun kot, ada 10,000 perkataan baru yang dikeluarkan oleh rakyat Indonesia.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah. I think because that's the development, perkembangan, the
ah,
development of the, what is that, slang language, Budiana,
correct.
yeah. Yeah,
Slang
right?
language, all right. So, when they mention about that to us, all right, the
Mm.
language teacher, we somehow mentioned something else. We said,
Hmm.
this shows that Indonesian is a good nation ataupun nation yang baik. Why? Because one of the characteristic of a good nation is to have language involvement. And they were like, oh,
Oh.
seriously, yes. So they were like, oh my God, Indonesia
Mm.
is a good nation. We said, yes, Indonesian is good nation because one of the characteristic of having a good nation is to have involvement of language.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, Budiana. Yeah, we have those development, Budiana.
ah,
But in the
ah,
on the other hand, I mean, there are so many local language that is what is that, disappear in every
disappear,
years. Yeah,
disappear.
because
Ya,
in
ya, ya.
Indonesia from
Kalau di sini
Sabang
that
to
language lah
Merauke.
Bapak ya.
Yeah, local
Oh,
language. There are so many actually, thousands of local language here in
mm.
Indonesia. Yeah,
I believe because you have more than 5,000 language, right? That's
islands.
why.
That's right. Yes.
Wow, wow.
So that's the challenge too, Budiana. Here we
Correct, correct,
develop in
correct.
Indonesian language, but also in any cases, I mean, there are so many some local language which is disappear because not many young generation wants to, what is that? Want to promote those language, especially from
Hmm,
their, what is that? From their culture or something. Yeah.
culture. And then we learn something lah, Bapak. I would like to share as well. I would like
Mm-hmm.
to take some time to share about this. This is quite new for me lah, Bapak. I just learned last last week saya pergi Jakarta. Rupa-rupanya kalau nama itu O, itu dari Jawa ya. Kalau A itu dari Sunda. Contohnya kawan saya namanya Joko, maka Joko dari Jawa. Kalau namanya minggu lepas apa ya? Saya lupa pula. Apa ya Bapak? Agus Lutfi Salim itu Sunda katanya.
Yeah, it can be,
Saya
Budiana,
baru belajar.
because like my name actually
So
Suharyanto,
last week
Suharyanto.
when I remember, Cakap Javanese apa, Pak?
Yes, I'm
No,
Japanese. I'm
that vegetable.
Suharyanto.
Ah, you're Javanese.
Yes, I'm
Ah,
Japanese.
kan I
Suharyanto
learn lah
with O.
macam ibu. Oh,
Japanese.
oh. Kalau Ibu
Ah,
Ariyati ni saya kurang pasti ya. Saya tak belajar lagi lah, Bapa.
Japanese also.
Ah.
Hmm.
Japanese as well. I see. I remember last week when we were at Umpam, I asked this particular lecturer, what's your name, ya Bapak Joko? Oh, Pak Joko, thank you for joining me today. And then I asked the next person, oh, Pak Joko, Pak, Bapak pula namanya apa? Widodo. And I was like, Joko Widodo. But two different people. All right. So that's
yeah.
what we learned from our friend in Jakarta last week. It's
Yeah.
quite a good sharing session with them. Okay. All right, thank you very much. I'm sorry for taking some times. So the
No,
last
it's okay,
one
good.
is number 4, professional responsibility. Standard 9, professional learning and ethical practice. We have somehow discussed about this just now. And the last one is leadership and collaboration. Uh, when it comes to teachers, it is good for you to collaborate with your colleague, all right? Definitely with your families as well, and then the community to support student success, all right? For example, a teacher work with a school counselor, right, to understand a student emotional needs. For example, last time when we came to UMS, I remember I contacted Ibu Happy, but somehow Ibu Happy aligned us with apa ya? Pak Khalid, right?
Yes, Pak
So
Khalid is one of the
somehow from that particular uh,
lecture.
Pak Khalid, Muhammad Khalid, Dr. Muhammad
Muhammad
Khalid kan?
Khalid, yes.
So somehow after we have discussed, Kan Bapak kan? So this is what we call as collaboration. We
Hmm.
invited two of the lecturers from Faculty of Education to give a talk in Malaysia virtually, and today I'm here, all right, with you. This is what we call as collaboration. You call us, we call you, all right. One day we're going to somehow come up with any, lesson, any together, and we might, help each other. That's what we call as collaboration, all right. So maybe in the next future, all right, you can be a teacher, all right, of innovation teacher, innovating teacher, which help your generation to be better. And I would like you to always learn on how you could somehow, be a giving teachers, right, educators to the one who are in needs. Because definitely learners with exceptionalities, they need support system. If we're not there for them, there's nothing for them anymore. So I remember one of my friends last week, namanya Bapak Aden. Katanya panggilnya Pak Aden, Pak Den. Dia kata, kalau nak tolong biar finish. Jadi kalau kalau nak tolong biar finish. Jadi anak-anak kalau mau menolong sahabat-sahabat kita biar selesai. Right? So that's all for my lesson. I do hope that it will help you, it will give you ideas on how you can create your content letter when you go to your internship. I wish you all the best. I know that my lesson is not a good lesson pun, but I hope it will somehow help you in, for the betterment of our own education, Malaysia and Indonesia. So thank you very much, Pak Harry. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you so much, Budiana. Don't say that it's not good enough because this is very, very wonderful and beautiful
MashaAllah,
presentation, I think,
subhanallah.
Budiana, from you. Like, what is that? We have so many, what is that? Insight from you, so many experience that you
MashaAllah.
share with us,
MashaAllah,
especially
MashaAllah.
during your visit in Jakarta. Maybe later on you can share your visit in, udah, Pak. Your visit in Surakarta.
Yes.
I mean, later on to your colleges later on. Yeah, that will be very nice.
Inshallah, inshallah.
However, before we close, maybe any one of these participant, our students, or maybe Bu Aryati, we still have 5 minutes. Is it okay, Bu Diana, if some of us
Yes, yes. Why not?
having
Why not?
any, what is that,
Apa tu? I
comments
saw
or question?
Deva Zaki buat macam ni. Should I do the same? What does
Neva Zaki, you want to
I,
say something about today's lesson from Bu
I saw you
Diana?
did something. I don't know. I don't know. What did you do just now, Neva? I would like to do
I
the.
just want to say thank you
Oh,
for
thank
the
you.
Okay,
Oh, thank
please.
lesson.
you.
Many things.
Thank
I
you,
learned many things
Neva.
from you, Miss. So I
Okay,
hope
Neva, if you say you learn many things from Budiana, could you tell us what kind of thing that you learn from Budiana today?
I'm too
Like,
shy, so I no.
no, 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 please share with us. Nano, hello. You hear my voice, Nano? Yes. Can you open up your microphone? What
Yes.
you have learned from today's lesson from Budiana, Nano? Maybe you can share with us
Oh, where's your
too.
hair?
Yes.
Alamak, I love your hair so much.
Oh,
Um,
last week your hair is different with this one, Nano, because I never met you in the campus actually.
yeah, I just cut my hair because
Oh, you
I
just
want
cut your
try
hair.
to try new hairstyle.
Oh,
Okay. By the
handsome.
way, yes, more handsome like Budiana. Nano, can
Yeah.
you, what is that? Share your idea, share your feeling about today's activity with Budiana. What have you learned or something that you want to share with us?
Um, how to apa?
How what?
You can share in your bahasa
Menangani
Indonesia.
itu bahasa Inggrisnya apa,
In
Pak?
Indonesian it's fine. It's Indonesian
Oh,
it's fine.
Boleh,
cara
boleh.
menangani murid dengan cara menangani murid dengan dalam tanda kutip keterbatasan
Hmm.
dengan
Keterbatasan.
dengan profesional.
Hmm.
Alhamdulillah. Saya mengharapkan Anok nanti kalau ke sekolah boleh menggunakan intervention yang kita dah belajar. Ya, insyaAllah. Tanya Nano. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Valencia, Dava, Honesty, anyone here? Buratih. Oh, Buratih, I think still on ongoing from Semarang. Bu Aryati. Bu Aryati, before we close, maybe you
Uh,
want to share something to Budiana and the others
no,
before we
it's
close?
okay. I get a lot of knowledge from Bu Diana, especially for the in-text and in-text here. It's interesting. Thank you, Bu Diana.
No worries, Bu.
Okay, thank you so much, Budiana. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone? I think anybody do not want to share. I think everybody has already full of the knowledge that have been collected from Budiana's presentation for today. Maybe later
Mashallah.
on, Budiana, we can continue our discussion. Maybe we can, what is that? Follow up the collaboration not only with this visiting professor program. However, there are many things that we can do. Like as you know, Budiana,
Boleh,
in
Bapak.
Indonesia we have three dharma. Do you know three dharma?
No, Bapak.
In
Never heard of
Indonesia,
Sri
we have
Dharma.
three dharma. As a lecturer, we have to do teaching, number
Uh-huh.
one. Number two, research.
Oh,
And
research.
number
Okay.
three is, what did you say? Community service.
Community
Yes.
service.
Yeah, those are the mandatory job as a
Mandatory
lecturer here
job.
in Indonesia here. So we have some kind of those collaboration, usually teaching this kind of teaching activity like visiting professor, visiting program at and for teaching.
Last week, when I went
Yes.
to Umpam, we
Mm-hmm.
somehow shared our ideas on action research.
Oh, that would be great.
So we have like two delegation from
Mm-hmm.
Umpam who will be joining us for our research, and then CSR Umpam is going to Malaysia, inshallah, next year, to do a CSR a program here in Shah Alam, because Bapa,
Oh, New Shalam.
Shah
Yes.
Alam is a big city, by the way. All
Sure,
right, it's
sure.
like Jakarta lah. It's like Jakarta. All right. However, we have a community, Indonesian community, which we somehow, which they somehow might have problem to survive.
Yeah.
So Umpam is going to be here together with us. All right, we're going to teach them for free.
Oh, good. Very good, Budiana.
Yes.
Maybe we what is it? Adapt those kind of program later on, maybe in
Correct. So
those.
maybe later on, if you would like to join
Mm.
I have no problem. But if you'd like to come up with, different program with this community, I have no problem as well. We have Orang Asli as well, but Orang Asli is quite far from our place. It will take like 3 to 4 hours of traveling to Pahang. We are here in
Oh,
Pahang.
okay, okay.
Yes. Mm-mm.
Good. Sama satu lagi, Indonesian ya, Budiana ya.
Saya
Kita
Bapak?
di our study program currently is doing the what is that? Preparing for curriculum revitalization. I mean, kita akan mengupdate. We want to update our curriculum in
Berapa
2000
tahun sekali Bapak? Kalau di Malaysia kami perlu update 5 tahun sekali.
Yes, same sama
Sama.
Bu. Kita 5 tahun and it's already 5 years. The last
I
time we
see.
update is 2021.
20. Oh, 21.
Eh,
Oh, about itulah 2026. Next year 5 years.
yes. So next year is going to be 5 years. So we have to update it. So mungkin Budiana, like what I have already mentioned previously, that maybe Budiana can help us maybe as one of
Boleh Bapak.
the yes.
Boleh
How do I
Bapak.
say?
Like,
Giving feedback. I mean, memberikan masukan, memberikan saran, or yeah, based on the development, like in Malaysian context or something. I think it's going to be what is that precious, valuable things that we can use in order to develop our curriculum for the next year.
inshallah Bapak. Last week, I
Uh-huh.
have a discussion with Universitas Airlangga.
Oh, Unair.
Yes, Unai,
Airlangga.
correct. And
Yes.
then I remember Professor Kundaro somehow mentioned that they would like to have another syllabus on adolescent. So would
Okay.
like me, because I'm also not an expert, but
Mm-hmm.
my master's degree was actually on adolescent language
Sorry,
and identity.
adolescent.
Yes, language and identity, focusing on adolescent. So they would like to
Oh,
have
teacher's identity.
one of the one of the topic in their syllabus, focusing on adolescent, and they would like me to come up with the content. Because last week I did teach them on theories of Brenner. So they would like me to do on the content. Now I go date why somehow Indonesia would like to have that kind of ideas because of the three dharma. They never mention about three dharma, Bapa. Now I
Oh,
got it.
yes.
So I
That's
might
what we
want to
do.
share with other universitas in Indonesia.
Yes, that's what we do, Bu Diana. We have
Ah,
to do that every semester. We have to
I
do research,
see.
we have to do teaching, we have to
Ah,
do community service,
mesti,
and
mesti
we have
mereka
to
fikir
do
saya
the
bijak,
report.
Bapa.
Yes. And we have to do report, and that's
I see. Administrative.
administratively it's going to be
Masya
very, what is
Allah.
that? Very
Ah,
difficult for us to
very,
report all the times
but
to
here
school.
as well. Here as well. And last year we might need to go to Umpah one more time to
Mhm.
discuss on lesson lah, on lesson.
Yes, Budiana, maybe after this we can continue this discussion.
InsyaAllah.
We're going to contact you more about that,
InsyaAllah,
and
Bapa.
then
InsyaAllah.
sama nanti juga after this I'm going to talk to you about the administrative things about this program later on. Yes.
InsyaAllah. Bapa,
Yes.
can I add something from you?
Sure, please.
Maybe we can, we can ask the students to, on their camera and we can take photo, Bapa.
Sure, I'm going to do that before
Yay.
we close.
Yeah.
Okay, now let
Saya
me
buka.
Nanti
make it into the
Bapak hantar
galleries.
sama saya ya gambarnya.
Yes, of course.
Yay. Oh, ibu
Oh,
masih di dalam kereta.
Bu
Kesian
Rate
ibu.
still
Rate
on
masih dalam
on her cars. Yes. In his car, I think. Yes, Bu Rate.
Masya Allah. Sudah sampai mana tu, Bu? Jauh lagi.
Adik-adik, halo.
Wah, Nano,
Saya
itu
nggak
apa?
manggilnya
Ultraman
nggak
ya?
anak-anak ya, adik-adik.
Yes, sir.
Kalau anak-anak kita manggilnya buat SD sama kindergarten di sini Bu
I
Diana,
see.
anak-anak.
Kalau di Malaysia, semuanya anak-anak. Kerana kami,
Oke.
walaupun muda, ibu kepada mereka. Wah, gitu, Bapak.
Ayo adik-adik semuanya dibuka kameranya. Everybody please on cam. We are going to take a photo session. We still have many of you not open your cameras yet, so
I
please.
just got to know that I've taught Ultraman as well. I hope Ultraman could get something from my teaching and learning just now. Nano is
Oh,
bringing.
I see, yes. Nana. Cahya, Angelica, Gabriel, Hilma, Losita, Manwara, Hanum. Everybody, can everybody open the camera, please? I'm waiting for 10 seconds now. Ayo, everybody, please open the camera. I still have not come. What is that? Not full yet for my screen here. I at least one screen. I hope everybody can open the camera here. Marsha, Hilma, ayo Kairunisha. Ayu, Najwa, Anissa, Cynthia Anandita, Novi Artiosha. Oh ya, untuk presensinya nanti menyusul ya. Nanti akan Mr. Hari share di grup karena tadi Bu Mas Usamah lagi off. Jadi nanti biar disiapkan dulu. Eka, Novi, Hanum, Nisa, Losita, Hilmi. Okay, one screen. I'm not. Oh yes, only one screen. I can manage for everybody to open the camera, Bu Diana. Okay, everybody. Now we are going to take photo session together. I will count 1, 2, 3. So everybody, please be ready. Okay, yeah. Everybody. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Wait a minute. Once more. Wait. Next slide. 1, 2, 3. Ganti gaya. Satu lagi. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Everybody. Change your pose, everybody. Wait a minute. Gimana sih?
Kenapa ya, Neba? Sudah pecah ya kepalanya?
No. I have to do it myself. Sometimes I was helped by Usamah, Bu.
Oh,
Technically,
Neba
what is that?
sudah begini, Pak. Itu saya tanya,
Yes.
sudah pecah ya kepalanya?
Oke, satu lagi. 1, 2, 3 ya. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Show us your most beautiful smile. 1, 2, 3. Oke, sudah Ibu. I'm going to share it to you later
Alhamdulillah.
on the
Terima kasih. Maaf
picture.
merepotkan Pak Heri ya.
Yes,
Diana.
once more I would like to
Thank
say
you,
thank you
Ibu
so
Rati.
much, Bu
Thank you so
Diana,
much.
for this
Collaborative works. For
valuable.
their
Masya Allah.
collaborative
Thank
work.
you for giving me the
Yeah.
opportunity, Ibu Rati. Masya Allah.
Thank you.
Subhanallah.
Thank you.
Ibu Aryati, thank you. Pak Heri juga thank you ya.
Thank
Jumpa
you,
lagi.
Yes, Bu Diana.
Diana.
Thank you so much, Bu Diana.
Thank
See
you
you when I see
semua.
you
Take
again, Bu Diana.
care.
Yeah, see you, Kay.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh. Oke adik-adik, Bu Diana sudah pergi, Bu Ratih, Bu Aryati, terima kasih sebelumnya sudah bisa mengikuti kegiatan ini. Untuk presensi hari ini, Mr. Hari akan siapkan dulu ya, karena Mas Usamah tadi sedang ke dokter gigi, jadi belum kita siapkan. Nanti akan bisa di-share dan share di grup. Tolong diisi yang mengikuti kegiatan ini. Bagi yang ngisi, tolong jangan disuruh ngisi, gitu ya prinsipnya ya, Bu Ratih dan Bu Aryati ya. Once more, thank you so much for today's activity, for your collaborative activity. But later on, hopefully you can be more active. Semoga nanti kedepannya bisa lebih aktif dalam berdiskusi dengan apa namanya, dengan tamu-tamu kita yang dari luar negeri nanti ya, adik-adik semuanya ya. Tapi satu lagi kita ucapkan terima kasih. Saya kira cukup untuk hari ini. Semoga bermanfaat buat semuanya ya. Allahumma amin. Mari kita cukupkan kegiatan hari ini dengan membaca hamdalah bersama-sama.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin.
Terima kasih, Pak Hari. Terima kasih
Thank
semuanya.
you.
Berarti
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam.
wabarakatuh.